It's now time for one of my favorite parts of the show, our Your Life Story. This week, veterinarian Dr. Beau Whitaker shares with us how he brings balance into his life through his love of horses and his passion for art. In the small community of Salado, Texas, you'll find painters, sculptors, and artists of every persuasion. Among them, you'll also find a true Renaissance man, veterinarian Dr. Beau Whitaker.
I grew up around horses and animals and on a farm. I grew up around AQHA shows and things like that with my father, and just always an influence. And I worked for a equine veterinarian back in Tennessee where I grew up, and loved it and decided that's what I wanted to do.
For the last 3 years, he's hung out a shingle at Dr. T's Equine Clinic. There he treats everything from performance horses to the family trail horse. While he's wanted to be a vet since high school, it was his years sitting in science classes that influenced his other passion, art.
Ever since I was little, I've drawn. Sitting in the back of chemistry class for 10 years. I did a lot of drawing, and I'd draw stuff for cartoons and jokes and pass it around to my friends during class. And so I did a lot of that. And then about 6 years ago, I thought, I think I could, if I sat down and took my time, I could actually, draw something pretty good. And I did, and that was my first drawing, and people liked it, so I made prints of it and sold it, and it kind of just went from there.
His inspiration comes from his surroundings.
Mainly equine, cowboy, kind of the Western way of life. It's kind of, I don't know, it's changed a little bit from when I first started drawing. I think working out of the 4-6s ranch kind of influenced that. I really like working out there. I really like kind of the more cowboy, more Western type things, as opposed to just drawing horses. I kind of like the Western appeal to things.
The horses he has drawn have been enhanced because of his career. Knowing the anatomy of horses has helped him in his art, he says, and that has made him a better artist. Drawing also gives him a different perspective on his daily routine.
There's just something about taking a piece of paper that's nothing on it, and with a pencil, you can just create something that people enjoy looking at, and I enjoy looking at it. After I've done it, there's just a lot of satisfaction in turning just a white piece of paper into, a good drawing.
His art is characterized by the details. He strives, he says, to make them look almost like photographs. His wife often takes pictures of their visits to the pastures, and Dr. Whitaker then uses those as a starting point for his work.
If you had it on a wall kind of in the distance, you weren't sure if it was a photograph or a drawing. Occasionally I'll want to do something kind of more abstract in them, obviously, but overall it's kind of the way I've transitioned lately anyway, is trying to get just as much detail into them as I can.
And when he isn't busy treating a horse, taking pencil to canvas, or helping raise his 2 daughters, he also writes about his experiences for the American Association of Equine Practitioners website. I
write a blog for AAEP. I do one every 2 weeks. I've done 4 so far, so that's been fun. It's a kind of a creative writing. They kind of gave us freedom to do them however we wanted, and mine are more on the humorous side, so I kind of try to make them funny, and so that's enjoyable too. Another creative thing I get to do.
Like his drawings, his blogs come from the barn.
One of them was about a very interesting client that I have that has all kinds of crazy animals.
Writer, artist, veterinarian. He's a man of many talents and gives credit to his parents. His father, however, also a vet, tried to steer him a different way.
He told me to be a dentist, so I don't know if I can reward him with being my veterinarian motivation, but he always thought because of my drawing skills, I had good hand skills. He thought I could be like a good dental surgeon or something. And plus they made a lot of money, so I think, but anyway, I didn't sound fun, so I didn't do it. Yeah, he said do the horses for fun and make money doing something else, but yeah, I didn't listen.
What a great story, and a perfect example of how you can bring 2 passions together when it comes to a career. We'll be right back.